Hi, and welcome to Parenting 101 Practical Tips for Busy Parents. Today, let's talk about how do we teach our sons about how to treat women, their relationship with women. We're going to have a couple of episodes concerning power dynamics and sex and porn. And today, I want to start with two or three tips, or two or three lessons, two or three principles that we can teach our sons. It's interesting. I was listening to a podcast the other day about something called the Billy Graham rule, which is never be alone with a woman if you're a man. And this rule has good intentions, right, about respecting the other sex, but it can also be problematic because it assumes two things, and both of them are problematic. Number one, that the woman, you can't be alone with a woman because they are obviously out to seduce you, problematic. Or two, you cannot restrain yourself from making any sexual advances, and both of them are problematic. What would be some better ways? I'll tell you at the end. So here's a couple of things. Number one, we need to teach our sons to believe women. Only from 2 to 10% of cases where women say they have been sexually harassed or sexually attacked or sexually abused turn out to be lies. And even in that 10%, which is the highest, it turns out that there was not enough proof because they couldn't fight it, not because it did not happen. So if something happened 98% of the time, you would think that was almost the norm. Versus, I've counseled people for 28 years. I've had people in my office, and I've heard this story over and over. Women that tell me, I was victimized by somebody, I was sexually abused with somebody. It's an uncle, it's a dad, it's a person at school, it's a person at church, and I told somebody in my immediate family, I told my mom, I told my dad, and they told me, what did I do? What signals did I give out? What was I wearing? How would they get this? Are you sure this happened to you? So they're doubly victimized. Number one, they're victimized when it happened, and they're victimized when they don't believe them. I remember having conversations with multiple women over the years that they've said, an uncle abused me, and I told my mom, and she said, you're probably lying. Don't ruin their life. Well, they ruined their own life when they abused you. Don't ruin that person's life. So it's important for us to believe women. Number two, women's dresses are not responsible for men's thoughts. If women's dresses were responsible for men's thoughts, then there would be no abuse in Afghanistan, because there would be no abuse in self-supporting organizations where everybody wears long skirts and nobody wears really tight-fitting clothes. Now, do I believe in modesty? Absolutely. Do I teach my girls about modesty? Yes, absolutely. But the burden of proof is not on the woman, is on the man. It's that you need to clean up your mind. You need to stop watching porn. Almost 90% of men now have watched porn in the last week, 60 to 90 for sure. We're going to talk about this on our next video, the connection between abuse and porn. Incredible. So I want to be responsible for my own thoughts. It's not about how you dress. It's about my connection with God, about my integrity. It's about what I choose to think, what I choose to allow in my own mind. And number three, instead of blaming women, instead of making women solely responsible for your impure thoughts, how about these two things? How about integrity? How about accountability? How about personal responsibility? I have no secrets with my wife. She can get into all my accounts. She knows all my passwords. If I'm meeting with somebody of the opposite sex where we are having a counseling session, she knows where I start. I have accountability. I have integrity. There are no secrets between her and I. I don't meet in secret. I don't try to scheme or try to fix things in a way that I can have the best of both worlds. So instead of trying to blame women for their own abuse, or because men have impure thoughts that come more from I've never had somebody who has impure thoughts who has not watched porn. I'm not saying this is causation, but it's a very clear correlation. Let's teach our sons about integrity. Let's teach our sons about accountability. Let's teach our sons about personal responsibility. Those are my thoughts. If this video was good for you, I know this probably some of you are not going to agree with everything I said. That's perfect. I love you anyway. We can disagree in love, right? We're respectful in our comments with each other. But if this is beneficial, share it with somebody. I invite you to subscribe to the channel and look for next week. We're going to have another one about sex, the connection, power, and porn. That's not about sex, more about power. Remember, relationship, parenting, not easy, but we can do this together. Parenting 101, practical tips. Practical tips. Let's not edit that. Practical tips for busy parents. God bless you.